Dray Tates production.
So, ladies and gentlemen, what's up? Welcome to All Access Gospel. This is your boy Derek Huggins. And listen, man, we have a wonderful treat today for all of you guys that are out there streaming this. But before we get into that, I want you to take a quick moment, if you don't mind, go over to our website, www.allaccessgospel.com. And then also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Our handle over there is at AAGospel. And then also make sure you go to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/C and then /All Access Gospel. Make sure that you hit the subscribe bell and the notification bell and join us for some great things that we've got coming up like today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're so excited today to welcome to All Access Gospel. Man, I feel like somebody doesn't need an introduction, but for those of you that may need one, we have the legendary Mr. Dray Tate. Who is a solo artist in his own right, but also member of the legendary multi-award-winning group, the Williams Brothers, is on with us this afternoon. And man, I'm telling you, Dre, so glad to have you, man.
I'm glad to be a part. I'm glad to be a part, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let's talk about a little bit before we do. I always do like a top talkers kind of situation before we get down into the meat of everything. And just wanted to just kind of talk to you about how you dealing with this coronavirus. How's the family? How's everybody doing?
I'm trusting God in the process, man. Everybody's doing good. Thank God we haven't had any sicknesses or anything like that in the family. I ain't gonna joke. I thought a few times in the past months I like Rona probably came to my house.
My God.
Oh, we even knew Rona was even existed, man. But
right.
For the most part, man, then everything's been good, man. I've just been utilizing my time, because I'm so used to being on the road, on the go, and
yes, sir.
So just utilizing the time to connect with family, hear from God, write more music, just prepare for what's coming next, man. That's pretty much it. Can't allow ourselves to get a negative mindset about this whole thing. Got to keep rolling.
Absolutely. Yeah, you when you said you thought that Corona came to your house, I just was reminded of the Clark sisters project just came out. They got a song saying it's not coming to my house. So so we praise God, man, that it didn't come to your house. I'm surely glad it didn't come to mine. And so we're just gonna keep praying for everybody out there. I appreciate that feedback on that as well. So let's get down into the nitty-gritty, man. I want to again, just really thank you for being here with us today and taking our time out of your schedule. I wanted to just we're going to work our way forward. Everybody knows you're a member of the legendary Williams Brothers, and I do want to talk about that, and certainly want to make sure we get to the new music you have out and, all of that good stuff. But let's start, if you don't mind, just for those who might need an introduction. I don't know why. I don't know where you've been. You've been under a rock. I don't know where you've been if you don't know who this man is. But but for those who may not know, about Dre, just kind of give them a little rundown real quick.
Man, I'm at the end of the day, I'm just Dre. That's my slogan, man.
Right.
I can be all what everybody want me to be, and
yeah,
they can see me at a different level or somebody else. At the end of the day, I'm just Dre. You don't get those city, Houston, Texas native country boy, basically. It is what it is. But I've been doing this now, man. Been in the industry now for a little over 30 years.
Yeah.
That started very, very young with my family group, and we sung around Houston and began to travel on the road nationally, and went from there. And I joined another group after my family group dispersed, called the Wonderful Harmonizer out of Huntsville, Texas. And that's where I got my road start outside of my family group, man, and left there, and I became the guitar player for the Bolton Brothers from Clay, Mississippi, and I was there for a few years, and then I in '98 became the lead guitar player for the Williams Brothers. A lot of people don't even know I play any instrument, but yeah, I played like 4 different instruments. And I was their guitar player for about 6 months before they fired me. They just let me go.
Hey, brother, we done all been through it. We all done been fired a time or two in our life.
Yeah, but that was just the beginning of an era, man. I was always dreamed to be with the Williams brothers. I always dreamed to sing with them and collab with them, but never would I thought in a million years that they would actually consider me as becoming a member of the Williams brothers. So I've been with them now for 20 years. Thank God I've been all across this world with those guys. I've been to the award shows, man, and you name it, everywhere. We've sung on big and little stages. I'm just grateful for the journey that I still am, because everybody be talking about, man, is the Williams brothers still singing? Yes, we are very much still singing and still relevant. We just on a hush right now.
Right.
Don't get it twisted. We still here. We still here. You know.
Still here. Never went nowhere.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. But God has just been good to me, man, over these 30 plus years, and I'm just thankful for what He got going, what He got for me in the future now, man. It's really exciting.
Absolutely. Well, man, that's great. And like I said, I feel like you don't need an introduction, but I just love the fact that, I love meeting artists, especially someone of the caliber and coming from the caliber of group that you come from, when there is just a level of humility. And I think that can really carry forth with a lot of some of these other gospel wonder greats that we all love. And sometimes, you don't always get the best reception from them, but I appreciate the fact that, there's still a level of humility after 30 years in the business, and one of the most seriously storied groups of music, not just gospel music, but music period. I want to talk about, I know you're a native of Houston, and I know you started early, I believe was around 3 or so, playing the guitar and singing and all of that.
3 years old. I sang my first song at 3.
Wow. Right. So when were you like I want to know, when were you conscious of the fact that you could sing or play? Like, when was it real to you that you were doing that?
Well, my mama say I cried so much when I was a little baby, and she knew I was gonna sing. So, because I used to cry, I will cry in a heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? So, I got my first feeling of music when I was around 2. That's when I was able to listen to a melody and I can feel something, because it would either bring me to a happy place or it'll make me emotional.
Right.
And the crazy thing is, my daughter, my 16-year-old daughter, I'll never forget, she's the same type of way. I'll never forget, she's 2 years old, and I was playing a song that was on the radio. Matter of fact, it was Michael Jackson, She's Out of My Life. And I looked back in the back rearview mirror, and she was in the car seat, and she wasn't boohooing, but you could see the tears coming from her eyes. Wow. And the feeling just got to her. So she knew it was a sad, melancholy type of moment, So I was that same way, man, when I was young, when I was a baby. I could feel the music before I can even sing it.
Wow. That's amazing. I always love to hear these stories from artists and people who start out singing that just kind of have those kind of unique stories, and that propels them to do what they do ultimately in the music industry. And I want to talk about, I know, some of your earlier influences with Joe Ligon, Mally Clouds, and all of that good stuff. And tell me what it was like, growing up in quartet culture. And I'll be honest with you, I was kind of a late bloomer coming over to quartet and the love of quartet. But the funny part was, I always knew who the Mighty Clouds were, and I always knew who the Williams brothers were. And so, what was it like growing up in that culture? I know you mentioned your family's group. I think it was the Tate family, and then y'all changed the name, I believe, at some point.
Yeah. When we started getting members outside of our intermediate family, then we had to change the name to God's Chosen Family. But man, growing up in those eras, oh my God, it's so. My daddy, the Williams brothers, was one that was my personal go-to. From the time I was born, I was a Williams brother fan. Everything about them, that's what I wanted to be. But my dad, groomed me and my brothers, because I have 3 other brothers other than myself, and we all musicians and singers. But he groomed us on the Pilgrim Jubilees.
Yeah.
We listened to the Pilgrim Jubilees morning, noon, and night till we were just sick of the Pilgrim Jubilee. We was tired. But he grilled us on the Jews. So, and I know a lot of the other musicians and singers out there now, they can probably testify to that, man. That the Jews was that go-to sound, authentic wise. But me, man, I listened to so many growing up. Paul Porter was my go-to, Harvey Watkins Jr., of course, Melvin and Doug, Rance Allen. A lot of people don't remember a quartet group. Now, this is one of my favorites, and I like them because of their style and versatility. One was the Everettys, rest in peace, late great Jerome Williams. And my other go-to was the Salem Travelers.
Okay.
A lot of people sleep on the Salem Travelers.
Sleep on them.
Travelers was one of the bomb groups back in the day. If you don't believe me, just check out some of their YouTube videos and you'll find out. They was before their time, you know. So I go way back then, man. You know.
Absolutely. Well, man, listen, I want to talk about, you know, just some of the things that you've experienced. What it's been like over these last 20 years of your dealings or affiliations with the Williams brothers. You know, starting from the early days, like you said, as the guitar player, and then ultimately becoming I believe a background singer for him, right? At some point.
Right.
Then you went on to actually be a part of the group. I know you travel all over the world. You've met all kind of people. What are some of the crazy stuff that you've encountered while out on the road? I can only imagine. I will use the rated G version. Gotcha. Yes, of course.
But I mean, one of the most craziest things, man. We was overseas. Matter of fact, we was in a country called Turkmenistan.
Yes.
And we were doing an autograph session after the show.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I'll never forget, me and Melvin Castro, one of the guitar players, we was like neck and neck. But all of a sudden we started spreading. It was a sea of people started crowding out, and we just started spreading over and up and back and forth. Believe it or not, it was like a mob in there, and we literally had to run.
My God.
And we was calling each other, Melvin, I'm over here. Come on. And the people were just pulling us from side to side and stuff, and we had to run to the limo, just running. So this is stuff we used to see on TV and stuff like that, but when it happened to us, it was like, dude, what just happened?
Yeah.
Like crazy. So that was one of the most craziest and scariest.
Sure.
And once we got in the car, they started rocking the car and stuff.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was cool at the same time. It was like real scary though, because I didn't think we was gonna make it out of that.
Yeah. You know, it's funny, man. When you talk about that experience, it reminds me of when I watched the movie Jackson 5: The American Dream.
Exactly.
You remember that
like
scene?
That.
Yeah.
But it was worse. It was worse because it was hundreds of people. Hundreds of people, man.
Wow.
And that was one of the most craziest things that I've ever seen. And of course, I have many stories.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know, I mean, and really a lot of people don't really understand when the brothers was on the road really full time, when we had our own tour bus and sound crew and all that, man, some of the most best times, the most fun times was on that tour bus with the Mighty Sun. Our nickname is known in the industry called the Mighty Sun.
Right.
That name was officially given to us by our late great brother Terrell Midge Gatlin.
Yes, sir.
The Mighty Sons. We the Williams brothers, but we the Mighty Sons, aka Mighty Sons. Yeah. But man, being on that bus with the Mighty Sons, the Williams brothers, was some of the craziest times, man. It was so funny. Mr. Green was probably one of the most funniest cats you would ever be able to ride with, man. So it's memories like that, man. I wish we can get them back, but I'm thanking God for everything that we endured with it, man. And I wouldn't give nothing for those days, like for real.
Sure. So tell me, because again, you're talking about these times where you guys were, kind of inundated, flooded with fans and things like that. You traveled all over the world. What is it that you think? Let me ask you this. I want to ask you kind of a serious question about where some have observed. I know certainly has been my observation about the industry. I want to know what your feelings are about where gospel music is in context to where the rest of music is. And do you believe that there's a gap or a gulf there? And if so, what do you think is the contributor to that?
Man, it's funny you ask that. The thing is, yes, growing up in the 80s compared to now, it's a major change inside our gospel community, And I used to say at one time that it almost seems like it's more of a prejudice between different genres inside the gospel, the contempt from to the hip hop to the quartet. And it's like everybody got their own cliques, you know what I'm saying? And I remember a time back in, just like we look at the movie Gospel that we used to look at when I was a little boy, and you had James Cleveland, the Clouds, the Clark Sisters, the Walt Hawkins, Pastor Shirley Caesar. But they all can combine together and make it work, And it's like those days, it's like it's not there anymore, So it kind of put a damper on this whole gospel market in my eyes, But at the most part, that was and being transparent, that's something that used to bother me a lot. And I'm not gonna lie to you, bro, it made me sometimes even not want to even do it no more.
Yeah.
Because I can't speak for a lot of people, but one thing I am is real. I don't like fake stuff,
Right.
So if I'm gonna be into it, I want to be into it and be real about it,
Sure.
But all I do now, man, is all I got on my mind now is take my mind off of what's going on in the gospel and this, and I'm focused on what God has given Dre. Period.
Yeah.
I know it's gonna work for some, and I know it might not work for somebody else. But at the end of the day, I'm all about God getting His glory, and people understanding what the message is all about. Period. I mean, I don't care what you can quartet me, you can contemporary me. It don't make me it don't make no difference to me. Sure. I'm only gonna put forth, and I'm only gonna do what God has given me. I can't really worry about where it's gonna end up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, and with that being said, I thank God for the ability to do either genre. You want me contempt, I can do contempt. You want me inspiration, I can do that. You want me quartet, I'ma holler at you. Period. Yes, So, I just thank God that I am a versatile artist like that, to where I can do whatever the stage wants me to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something that I, find interesting. That after interviewing all these, especially I mostly cater to indie artists, and I have a award show called the AAGospel Awards, going in our 5th year this year, and it's mostly catered to indie artists. And one of the things that I'm finding is that I think the indie artist is more of a microcosm of what's going on in the greater gospel industry, and that is this. It seems to me that most of the time the artists are stuck in one place, and they don't understand how to evolve. And one of the classic case in points for me is when the digital streaming side of the music industry changed literally the whole game of how music was done across the board, not just gospel, but every genre. And it seems like sometimes the gospel artists want to stay kind of stuck and are not able to move forward or go with the flow of where the music industry is going. And so you see this happen a lot, like whenever a new dispensation of genre will come in. You saw it from when the Motown era ended, right? And then disco came into play. And then after disco, then the hip hop, and then so on and so forth. And you saw during those transitions, artists that were killing it just kind of like disappear, right? My question to you is, do you think that could be a lagging part of what's going on in the industry as well? And I know you're doing you and everything, but I just thought it was just something that I think people that are watching this would like to hear from someone again of your stature who has longevity in the industry and knows about this. Do you think that could be a part of it, or you think that just is it just a part of the course?
I definitely feel like you cannot survive as an artist if you're not willing to change with the time. You know, I'm sorry, but 8-track tapes don't work no more.
That's right.
Cassette tapes don't work no more.
Right.
CDs don't even work no more now. You know, so and what I heard is what I get now that it's a download streaming type of game. You know, so, but at the same time, the brothers, my guys, they're not familiar with all of that. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, they have to make the initiative to find someone who's experienced in that to further the legacy. You know, but when you get caught up in your ways and you get set in your ways and you don't want to change this time, then you'll find yourself becoming Casper the Friendly Ghost. You don't know where you went. You know, and
you ain't the whole thing about Casper the Ghost.
Right, Casper, all the way white ghost.
You're Casper.
Yeah. So that's how it is. I look at, for instance, man, I look at one of my favorite singers in the whole world is Charlie Wilson. Anybody know me? Know that. You know, and I look at the longevity of Uncle Charlie. Charlie started back when they was 8-track. But he's streaming and downloaded right now. And I'm like, dude, if he can do it and still be relevant, why can't any other artist do it? You know what I'm saying?
I think you said something, man, so powerful. And really, I'm gonna tell you something. Even though maybe Doug and Melvin don't know like the like you said, but their openness and willingness to make those transitions and like you said, find someone. And I think I'm sure that you help with this as well. Come in and that can help shape that part of it, right? And when I look at artists like the Williams brothers, like the Clark sisters, like John P. Key and Kirk Franklin's and all these people who've been around a good minute, Pastor Shirley Caesar, who, and I'm gonna tell you something, she is another great example of that. I am always proud when I see her because it's like she really embraces the changes. She embraces pop cultural norms shifts, right? And so to me, it is the quintessential tale of someone who understands that if you make the adjustments, you'll be around a long time. That's why all of y'all have been around so long, because you have to have that kind of mindset. So I appreciate, you sharing your views on that.
Oh yeah.
So let's one more thing about the Williams brothers, and then we're gonna move on because we know we got music and you're doing some solo work. So let's talk. I want to know personally, out of Doug and Melvin, who is the funniest?
Melvin Williams is the most hilarious cat you will ever meet in your entire life. And I'm coming way up on the screen to tell you that Melvin Williams is the most hilarious cat you will ever meet in your life.
Look, y'all, he done pulled up on the screen.
He will talk you to your ears bleed, like literally.
Wait a minute, Dray. I'm just tripping that you just pulled up on the screen on us though. Came all the way into the camera.
I need y'all to understand what I'm saying here today. That joke, hey, life ain't the same without Melvin. I'm just saying, like for real, this man and the crazy thing, I would say it's funny because since Rona been raving,
right?
Since Rona been raving, Melvin will call me every single day, like just talking about how the sun is shining or something. I don't know.
Just anything.
He is so funny, man. I mean, and the crazy thing about this is I never would imagine that I would have a relationship like a father, like being this man's son or whatever. I never imagined that growing up.
Yeah.
Never imagined that Melvin Williams would just be bugging me on the phone. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I love that dude to death, man. Anybody know Mel? He's a we call him Jumping Bean. He's just a fiery brother. That's it. That's what he is.
Well, man, I tell you, just to hear that story as well. And I think, again, just to come from your background and where you started to now being a part of one of the most influential groups of music. And again, I extend that beyond gospel, just music, period. Just goes to show, man, what I think hard work and, trusting God and really putting your works to your faith, man, is attributed to that. So, hats off to what you guys are still able to do in the industry and what you're still a force. There's not a question in my mind. Will's brother come to town, like, I'm there, like, what's up? And so y'all have all these classic songs and just even some of the newer stuff that people love and enjoy to this day. And man, I just have to give hats off to groups like yours, because that's what it's all about. And I think that if you can find a way to stay relevant, then you've really struck gold. And so I appreciate you for just kind of sharing those experiences with the Williams brothers. All right, so now, man, you're doing your own thing. You're doing some solo stuff. Now, this ain't no David Ruffin and the Temptations kind of stuff.
Never in a million years will I. There's a few things you would never have to worry about seeing Dray Tate a part of, and one of them is a prideful and puffed up attitude where I'm David Ruffin and these are Tim now. You would never.
Yeah.
You'll see something like that. Never.
Well, and I just said that really for some comic relief, because I'm kind of a goofball, man. But yeah, that I had to throw that one little thing in there. But man, it's great to see you doing some solo music, and like you said, you can tell by the song I was listening to one more do it one more again, and I just appreciated. I heard so many different influences in that song, and I want you to talk about that new music you got coming out now, but specifically, and talk about that for us.
Well, do it one more again was first. I recorded one more again a couple years ago and put it out, and it was destined to do great, but under circumstances and legal situations, I had to take it off the market. And basically all the work, all the blood, sweat, tears that I put in it just all went down, and it pretty much almost made me say, look, Williams Brothers only, that's what it is. No solo Dray Tate, period. I don't want no parts of it. I was comfortable right here with the brothers, you know what I'm saying? And even though I'm still am, but I swear I was like, look, I'm safe here. I don't need to be in the limelight. I don't need to be in the front. And I was encouraged by my brother that produced, Glenn G.P. Piper, and wife Sheila Piper. I met with them, and they encouraged me to not stop. Just because I hit a rock, just let's try it again. Let's do something else. And he encouraged me to put the song back out, but he said, give it to me and let me see what I can come up with. Now, by that time, I had already figured out that, okay, if I'm gonna do this, I kind of know where I want to go with this now. But I didn't tell Glenn. I didn't let Glenn know. But I tested Glenn, and he didn't even know it, because I wanted to know if this was meant for me and him to collab and me and him to work together. And he got it, and about a week later, he called me and say, bruh, he say, I got your track finished. He say, nah, I put a little mint condition feel to it. So that's what I wanted from the very beginning, but I never told Glenn. So when he told me that, I knew exactly what time it was.
Yeah.
So after, and then the crazy thing is, we recorded it in November 2018, but it just came out of February, was it January of this year. So between those times, man, it was some ups and downs and crazy stuff happening in my career and personal life that was causing me to say, man, I don't even want to do this no more, man. I don't want to do this no more.
Yeah.
So I'm thanking God. That's why I do it one more again. It's special to me, because it's my endure it to the end type of song, because I was supposed to really gave up on my career, singing, all of that, because I just didn't want to do it no more, because it just seemed like everything was so cutthroat. and everything, you know. And I just literally tried to give up on it. He kept pushing me to do it, man. So I thank God for my brothers and sisters for giving me that encouragement to do it. So now I'm looking at the fruits of it now. The song came out popping, people loving the sound, people loving the feel. A lot of people thought I was gonna come out with a Williams Brothers flavor type of song.
Right.
But
I'll be honest.
surprise! Surprise!
You got us on that one, because I'll be honest with you. I kind of thought, you kind of followed that vein. So that was actually a pleasant surprise.
What you're feeling in this particular track is authentic Dray Tate.
Right.
My mind is just like, it's not like I'm gonna just do this right here. You don't know what you're gonna get from me, period. Right. Because I got so much stuff, so many influences, so many different feels and sounds. So with this right here, I just wanted to groove people in Jesus' name.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Groove them in Jesus' name.
Yeah, groove them in Jesus' name. And that's what I'm about, so we wrote that song, put that out there, and man, it's just been overwhelming, the response and the love that I got from people that say, man, this is so much fire up in this track. Yeah. So I love that. I'm really, really happy about that.
Well, it definitely is fire, man. And again, kudos to you and the production team that put everything together. And I want to tell you, man, that was definitely one of the pleasant surprises for me, because I'll be honest, I was one of the ones that thought, okay, we're going to be on a Williams Brothers kind of vibe. To see that it was, I won't say a departure, but it was you pretty much, like you said, being authentically yourself. But you said something a few minutes ago I want to circle back to that really, I think, because see, this platform mostly caters to indie artists, and I want them to hear this, what you said about, here you are, a member of one of the most legendary groups of all time, and you yourself feeling like, okay, I think I'm gonna just forget it, I'll just stay in the background and do my thing. And honestly, to a person like me, it's kind of inconceivable that would be even a thought that you would have. But it just goes to show that the human life, we all live it, right? And we all experience those ups and downs. And I want you to speak to, if you don't mind, for a couple moments, to someone that may be aspiring or out here on this journey doing music and may feel like what you felt at that time. What would you say to that person or those persons?
I would say to that person, just like I said to somebody else the other day, know what your purpose is, know what you want, know what God has told you. Hang on to that, no matter what, hang on to that, because man, the craziness of this industry, the craziness of the world, the craziness of the industry will cause you to say, man, whatever, man, let me give me a 9 to 5, I'm in it, But no, when you know what your purpose is, and God has truly spoken to you, and told you what your assignment was, hey, it ain't gonna be all gravy, and I'm here to tell you, because my story between One More Again and Do It One More Again will be in a book real soon. Awesome. Real soon, because I have a story to tell. A lot of people don't even know what I went through between 2018 and 2020. So I would say to anybody, look, man, you gotta have some fight in you. You gotta have it. You can't be weak out here, like for real. Yeah. And I'm not talking about having a bad attitude or a nasty attitude. I'm talking about continuing to stay humble, but stay polished. Yeah. Keep your eyes open. Stay before God. Ask Him for a discernment gift or something, because you're gonna need it out here, man. I'm trying to tell you. Yeah. And stay away from the bad stuff. Right. Stay away from the negativity. Even some people scared to do this thing without a crew or a clique. Friends, man, please. If you got to walk alone in integrity, man, and be real about what you're doing. Be true to your gift. Be true to your talent. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Now, I will tell you this. Every legend ain't gonna give you an answer. Period. I'm just gonna be real with you. Okay. Every legend is not gonna give you an answer. Yeah. It's not just because they don't want to see you make it either. Some of them just don't know.
Yeah.
Because it's a different era now.
Right.
You know, but there are plenty of ways to get the answer. Plenty of ways to get the answer. So I don't even have all the answers, bro. But thank God that he gives me the people that I can go to, like Glenn, you know, and a whole bunch of other people. My guy Anthony Darby, I got him, and I got, you know, April Ridley, and a whole slew of other people that I can go to for help, because I don't know it all, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say, man. But at the end of the day, the only thing that's gonna keep you there is humbleness. Right. Got to stay humble, you know.
Yeah.
Stay humble, not stupid, but humble.
Okay, so we got a distinction and a difference. Okay, it's like,
right.
Not stupid, but humble. Okay, I got you. So listen, when you got ready to do or do this, did you have a conversation with the Williams brothers? And if so, what was that like?
I basically talked to Melvin and Doug about what I was gonna do.
Yeah.
Told them that I was gonna do a solo. I mean, and that come down, everybody done, even Miss Green done a solo project, right. You know. Yeah. So Doug and Melvin been doing a solo project for God knows how long.
Right.
And so it was supposed to happen for me to do a project, you know. Mm-hmm. But one thing, and being honest, I wanted to do the project not riding on the coattail of the brothers.
Gotcha.
I thank God for everything they have shown me and done for me and everything, but I didn't want to use the Williams brothers platform for a Dray Tate come out. Gotcha. And I asked and prayed to God about that, and believe it or not, so when I told them that, they just encouraged me to do it. That's all I've ever. They told me, "Hey man, push on, do it."
Yeah,
do it.
That's great. That's great.
Doug hit me up yesterday, and it's just to be encouraged by such a legend that has written many hits and have many accolades. And he say, you know, he respects the fight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That I don't stop. You know, I keep rowing. You know, so that does something. That's better than money to me, man. You know?
Absolutely. Man, listen, I'm telling you, you know, just hearing that I think is a great thing, because a lot of times you hear whenever there's a decision to do some solo things. And like you said, I know for a fact, of course, that Doug and Melvin have done some individual work, but a lot of times, even in that case, it's kind of frowned upon if someone else does something. And so it's great to know that that wasn't an issue for you here. You're able to go pursue and do what you're desiring to do. And so what I want to know now is this more part of a full feature album, or is this just kind of you testing the waters, or where are we?
I test the waters. I'm just gonna jump in and start swimming now, baby.
I know that's right.
I got too much to say. I got too much to say now, man, and I have too much to talk about when it comes down to it. So no, you will expect a whole album, you know, to come in the near future.
Good deal. Definitely. I love it. And you like me, man. You're a man after my own heart. I'm very much, even with this platform, you know, didn't have no backers, didn't have, you know, really. And the great thing I thank God for me is that I'm very much self-motivated. I don't really require a lot of praise or pushing. I'm very ambitious just by nature. And so I like when you said, I'm just get out here and go swimming, boy. That's me.
That's it.
Like just jump out there and just, hey, we going. And that's
I don't believe God will take you through it and bring you out it for you to say, oh no, I ain't getting in that. No. I went through it, I learned some into it and some while I was going through it. So now I know a way to go back and not have the issues or the struggles that I had before. You know, so now even from 2018's One More Again to do it one more again, now there are some things now that I know to do and know how to do better than I did in 2018. Right. And it's keeping me afloat now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I didn't put all my money in one basket.
Sure.
I kind of spreaded it around a little bit.
Yeah.
Just in case this basket don't work, I still got some working over here.
Come on, man.
That's stuff I didn't know.
Absolutely.
Then,
Yeah.
So I just thank God, man, for the knowledge and the wisdom that He give me, even when I bust my head to the white meat. It just made me smarter.
Dre, hold on. Bro, I ain't heard that term. Man, I'm
telling you, you don't know what you're gonna hear from me. That's just
no. Wait, let's be clear. I've heard the term. I'm just saying I haven't heard that since I was a kid, man. You went back in the archives with that one. Bust your head to the white meat. Now explain, because there's probably a couple people on here. They're probably from the north. That's a southern thing. What does bust your head to the white meat mean?
When you done bust your head wide open and the meat showing it. Yeah, that's a southern. You're right, man. That's a southern thing. I remember my grandfather used to say, "Yeah, you don't believe fat meat greasy."
Yeah, that's it.
You don't really believe what's happening.
Doc,
you don't get it.
Man, me and you can sit here literally all day and go through them old things. My grandma used to say, she used to say something like, "A horse run fast, won't run for long."
I gotta use that one,
bro. Look, real talk.
Slow down.
I'm telling you, my grandmother was telling me stuff at 10 and 11. I'm like, what is she talking about? Right. And it's so funny, man. I was just telling my dad this the other day. I said, man, I'm 40 now, and I'll be 41 in June. I said, man, what I know at 40 and 41 sure is different from what I knew back then. Yeah, and they say, and this, they all say, man, you just keep living, baby, just keep living.
Yeah.
And you're right. And so since we're talking about living, I'm going to close on this to talk about how you were able to come. From what I understand, I think it's 2004, you had a couple of strokes.
Yeah.
Okay. And so in our closing moments, I want you to speak to what it's like to be able to overcome hard challenges, health issues or whatever, and still be able to go on and do great things.
But by the grace of God, man, that I'm even still doing it, still here. A lot of people don't know. I tell people I was a stroke patient 2004. I had 2 major strokes. The first one, they was in a 3-week period actually. And that was a tough time, man. It was a really, 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 really tough time. I was 29 years old. And the doctors were so mesmerized that, man, this 29-year-old guy having strokes like this, dude, what's going on?
Yeah.
But man, for God to bring me through that, that was literally a time when I didn't remember who certain people was.
Yeah.
I was like, I was a singer and I couldn't remember a song.
Wow.
That was a rough time, man. But I had a fight in me, man, that would not let me go down,
So there's this theme here with you, man. You got this theme, man. You want to be Muhammad Ali of gospel.
I just born that way, man. I was not built to break. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No matter what. And I used to work the rehabilitation doctors and nurses. They would have me to where, because I had to learn to walk, I had to learn to put my words together again. I had to learn how to use my hands, think. And they used to give me 30-minute sessions twice a day. And I told them, no, I need an hour each session.
Yeah.
2 hours a day. Because no. And there was sometimes, bruh, and I'm gonna tell you, I know we ain't got long, but there was sometimes they would put puzzles together or have paintings or pictures in front of me, and I had to explain what I saw.
Yeah.
Man, and I in my mind I seen a butterfly, but I couldn't say it through my mouth. And just, man, you're gonna make me really emotional. Just to think, where I am now in my mind, compared to where I was then when I couldn't even get what was in my mind out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Dude, that's why I trust and love God the way I do, man, because He brought me through some tough stuff. So, man, I'm really grateful for that. Really grateful.
I'm gonna tell you something. This is why I like to ask these questions in the interview, because I think sometimes and I see this a lot in Christendom in particular, or gospel music artists, where, and I was saying this more broadly. I was talking to some friends, and I was saying that here's the thing, man. The Bible says that we are overcome by the blood of the Lamb and with the word of our testimony. Everything that we've endured, whether it was embarrassing or to just, you needing healing or whatever, these are stories that, and when we share them, because God has given you a certain level of influence because of where he's allowed you to go in your career. And so when people can hear stories like yours, I fought back from two strokes, I fought back through, all kind of other issues going on and all of that sort of thing to still go on and to be viable and do a great job in the industry. To me, those are the stories people need to hear, and I'm gonna give you this one real quick. I remember in 2018, I went to prison and I was gone. And I remember I was in the faith-based dorm. They have a dorm for people who are believers, and it was literally like a curriculum. You'd go and we went to church and classes all day. But there were periods in between they would allow us to listen to gospel music. And y'all's song, I'm still here. God live here. Man, when that would come on, the whole dorm would go up, man.
Wow.
So I just want you to know, man, that you all, and please communicate for me to Doug and Melvin, man.
I will.
That music is so powerful. Please let them know that I said.
I will.
That song was one of the ones that got me and so many of those other brothers that was incarcerated through those hard times. And you guys are important. You have an important voice to not just the industry, but to the world. Because those songs, I love the fact that it was a simple message, but it was something that everybody held on to. And I've had my share of heartaches, right? But I'm still here. You know what I'm saying?
Still here, man.
Through it all. I made it through. You know what I'm saying? Those lyrics, and I love lyrics, man. I'm a lyricist. When I listen to songs, I listen to what you're saying. So everybody can relate to that, man. Right? We all have been through stuff. So kudos to you, man. I just again want to thank you for your time. We're wrapping up here. I want to just thank, man, Mr. Dray Tate, y'all. This is legend here on All Access Gospel.
that right there. I'm still getting used to that because I don't consider myself as a legend, man, at all. Like I ain't that old. No.
Okay, but here's the thing. To me, can I just tell you this real quick? To me, it isn't so much the age that makes legend. To me, what's legendary is accomplishment. And accomplishment isn't always awards and sales figures, but the fact that you can have the kind of impact on the industry and on the world that you guys have had. Again, let me just say my own experience. For people that's incarcerated, that listen to y'all songs over and over again in there, that help them get through, and then they come out on the other end doing positive things for the Lord, that is legend.
Right. I got you.
Feel me?
I got you.
So,
I got you.
I'm going to say this. Don't take away from us our legend. You're a legend to us. Doug and Melvin, legends to us. Love you guys and love what you all do and love the single again. Do it one more again. I need everybody out there to go get that. I know it's on all digital outlets. If you got iTunes, Spotify, Yodify, Godify, Hisify, and Neify, go. I need y'all to make sure that you guys go over there and take care of my boy, Mr. Dray Tate, and make sure you guys stream that, download it, support him, what he's got going on. Dray, tell everybody how they can follow you on social media.
Well, first of all, everybody who didn't really get a chance to see the video premiere yesterday, you go on YouTube at any time and look it up. You just pull up my name, Dray Tate, and do it one more again. You'll see the video on there. So you can always go and just press play on that. You can reach me at just Dray Tate, JUSDRAYTATE on Instagram.
Yes, sir.
Dray Tate Music on Facebook. I have a Dray Tate Music page on Facebook, and my personal page, Dray Tate, on Facebook. And email address, you can reach out to me at draytate40@gmail.com. I don't have my booking agents and information right offhand, but I promise you get to any one of those, we're gonna get you hooked up.
Absolutely. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, again, this is my legend. I said it. He ain't comfortable with the word, but I said it.
I'm good with it now, bro. I'm good with it, man. I'm humble. I'm humbled by it, though.
Yeah. Well, you are, man. And again, shout out to you. Congratulations on everything, the new single, and it's banging. It's definitely a banger for sure. I want y'all to go support that. And ladies and gentlemen, while you're at it, I want you to remember to go over to our website at www.allaccessgospel.com. You can also go over to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/C/All Access Gospel. Make sure that you subscribe to our channel and hit that ting, that notification bell, so you can be notified when we do things like this. And of course, go over there to Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you follow us. We are at AAGospel. All right. So that's our time with the legendary Mr. Dray Tate of the Williams Brothers, and of course, of his own accord. Do it one more again.
Do it one more again, man. One more again.
That's all we try to tell the Lord. So, Lord, as we go out on this, we're going to say, Lord, do it one more again. Mr. Tate, thank you so much, man. Appreciate
My pleasure, man.
You're welcome here anytime. When you're putting out music or whatever, make sure you come and holler at us, all right?
Got you, man. Thank you.
God bless
Appreciate
you, man.
it.
Take
Much
care.
love to you.
Talk to you on the other side. All right.
All right.